Houston, do you know the way, Seth? Oh,
and another one.
That should we?
And another German.
4? Oh, no.
Oh, no, not another one.
Half a dozen.
Arms still wrapped around the waist of Rollins.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Whoa.
There's 5.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
That is honestly the best possible way that I could describe what is taking place right now. 85-60, third quarter's almost over. And you know what? This might be game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. But they really about to crown the champs. There's nobody really messing with this team. And I'm not even talking about left in the playoffs. I can make the case going back. I mean, the year's 2025. So 2024 was the Boston Celtics. 23 was the Denver Nuggets. 22 Golden State. 21 Milwaukee. 20 the Lakers. 19 was Toronto. I'm going to say that no team since the Golden State Warriors that has won the NBA championship in 2018 could beat this Oklahoma City Thunder team in a 7-game series. None of them. None of them. Now, this might be, you know, seen as a hot take, but please explain to me in X's and O's who's going to beat this team. I don't see anybody. And like I said, I just rattled everybody off from last year all the way to 2019 when Kawhi led the Raptors. Nobody's beating this team. Nobody. Let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves. I haven't seen somebody fumble a bag like this in terms of Julius Randle. I haven't seen somebody fumble a bag like this since Dennis Schroeder did it a couple years ago when he ain't signed that deal. I'm pretty sure with the Lakers for what, 82, 84 mil, something like that. I haven't seen it. Free agency. This is how you start a game 5 on the road, on the ropes. This is supposed to be the opportunity to let everybody know, hey, this is why you brought me here. These type of moments. It ain't going to be just one dog out here. It's going to be 2 of them. Me and Anthony Edwards is going to handle business today. We'll talk about Ant-Man in a minute because Ant-Man, Batman, Pac-Man, Thunder, and 5. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, but Julius Randle came out super aggressive, bonehead plays, not making the right passes, not making the right extra plays, not doing what was best for his team in the moments. Turnovers, he had 4 of them in the first quarter. I mean, I had a magic number. I made a post earlier and I was talking about how are the Minnesota Timberwolves going to have a chance in this game. Number 1, you can't let the others get off. They let the others have a field day. Number 2, you have got to make sure that SGA plays defense. Put him through screens, put him through pick and rolls. Number 3, quite possibly, you're going to have to be able to let SGA get his and not let anybody have theirs. So I'm saying put Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, Julius Randle, anybody. Put them on an island. Force SGA into a situation where the best option on the court is for him to play one-on-one. Let SGA have 50. But everybody else, denying the wings, denying ball side corner, and the only help we getting is coming from the weak side. That's how we playing. We are going to play as if the opposite team on the other side is the 2018, 2019 Houston Rockets with James Harden. Force James Harden to take 30-plus shots, score 50 points. He can have any shot he wants to. Step backs, hezzy cross, tween, dribble out the clock for about 20 seconds. I don't care. You're at home if I'm OKC. Minnesota, you cannot let the others have a game because they are the ones that gets the crowd going. Everybody feeds off the hustle, the 50-50 ball, tip, steal, grab the rebound, all those scrambles and stuff like that. That's heart. That's energy. That's effort. That's blue collar, right? Those are the things that gets the crowd going in OKC. Why do you think Russell Westbrook was so loved there for so many years? And every time he did anything, the crowd went crazy. KD was the best player, but they fed off of his energy. You got J-Dub, Caruso, Dort, Hardenstein, Wallace. All these guys at their core will do dirty work, hustle plays, grind it out, defense. You trying to blow? No, the only thing you hitting is my chest. That's it. Nobody's getting into the lane for free. That's the type of plays that you can't allow OKC to have. Now, looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves in one other aspect, okay, let's talk about Anthony Edwards. You're supposed to be the guy. You called out a couple years back, 1 or 2 years back, and said you was better than SGA and Luka. You scratched Luka off the board, sent him home. Cool. You're dealing with SGA, the MVP of the league. What are you doing? Why are you allowing yourself to be removed from the equation? You're allowing yourself to be face guarded to the point where you're standing by half court trying to receive a pass. Off the ball movement to a minimum, because you're still looking like I can't because they won't let me. That's how you're playing. I can't because they won't let me. There's no way this is the same dude that went into Denver, game 7, down 20, 27, came back to win that game. This can't be the same guy. You can't be. Now, OKC is historically great defensively. I'm talking about they play with the type of tenacity that we seen from the 2004 Pistons. All right. They play with the versatility of the Miami Heat did in 2012 when you had Shane Battier, D Wade, LeBron, Haslam, that type of versatility in their defense. They played like that. All right. But the ability to communicate, the ability to understand, I don't always have to, how do I put this? I don't always have to rely on this guy back here. I don't have to rely on Hardenstein every single time. If I say I'm going to lock in defensively on my guy, he's not getting past me. Caruso has guarded Joker and Anthony Edwards, two totally, completely different styles of play, completely different matchups, two completely different positions, and really, he outworked them and did everything he could to make sure they didn't get anything easy. They just wanted more. They just wanted more. Now, I'm going to watch a video right now. I seen it was a discussion on First Take with Kendrick Perkins and the Morris twins. Morris twins, they've been downplaying OKC for a minute. Now, in my opinion, I didn't want to, pick OKC or Minnesota before the series started. I just said, you know what? Look, if I'm OKC, do not underestimate Anthony Edwards. You are the better team. Do not take this man lightly, because if he has an opportunity, he smells blood, he's going to go after it. All right. They did not underestimate him at all. They treated him like the threat that he actually is. We're not going to let you breathe for 2 seconds. We're not going to let you touch the basketball, let alone hold on to it long enough for you to be a threat in this series. He had really 1 or 2 good games, and that's it. He is not going to be the threat that you think he is going to be in this series. They made sure of that. They handled their business. They did their job to a T. Now, there's some conversation about how great this team is. How good are they? I have an opinion, okay? But I'm going to watch this video and check it out, see what they got to say. Then I will voice that opinion.
Well, what's his definition of a great team?
Must you make everything complicated?
Yes.
I mean, it ain't complicated. He said there ain't no great team.
I just want to know.
Why don't you tell us your definition of a great team?
I just want to know.
I'm just saying.
I didn't make the statement.
But you can answer the question.
I didn't make the statement. All I'm saying is, what is your true? And I'm talking to Marcus. What is your definition of a great team?
Okay, well, let Marcus explain.
Okay, Perk. Hey, listen, this is when I say
great team, right? Like OKC is a good team. They're a budding team to become great, right? Like we can't stamp them. Like what makes them a great team? Like are we stamping because of what they're doing in the playoffs or because they had a really good defensive regular season team where they were #1 in a ton of categories, and obviously they have the MVP and SGA. Okay, so if we talk about great teams.
Isn't greatness confirmed from the regular season into what you do in the playoffs? I'm just confused. That's confusing to me.
We talking about great teams or great season. So we're putting them in the same category as the Warriors, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. Are we talking about the Bulls here with Michael Jordan? Are we talking about the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq? And let's just talk about last year when we talk about great. So the Boston Celtics last year dominated the playoffs, literally dominated 4-1, 4-1, 4-0, 4-1. When you talk about great, that's what you see great. They took a win against a Grizzly team that was mediocre. We all knew they were going to beat the Grizzlies. They went to Denver and went to 7. We thought they were going to blow Denver out the park. Now we go to Minnesota, and after the first 2 games, Minnesota could have had a chance to win both of those games at home. So when you say great and you say dominant, like the word great is just too much. I think that they have a chance to be great. I love their system. I love their defensive tangibles where they can switch guys in and out and be in the passing lanes and be able to dominate defensively. These last 2 games, they got hung 260 points on them. So what part of OKC is great other than having great defensive schemes and guys being in the lane? That means that the coaching has to be really well, and having SGA being able to be the catalyst of young players to grow into a great team. We're not going to crown them as a great team right now. I just feel like that's just too much.
Now, he tried to throw a little extra in there because he didn't want Perk to respond. Now, here's my answer to that question, all right? Let's start with what makes a team great. First of all, to address the point about the team that shall not be named on my channel, first round, Miami Heat, no Jimmy. Next round, Donovan Mitchell, he's out. Next round, Halliburton, he's out with an injury. And then in the finals, you 4-1 Dallas. I didn't personally think the Boston Celtics were that great. They had the luck on their side with all of those injuries, and they took care of business. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, this team right here, now, you did what you were supposed to do against Memphis. Cool. You went up against a former champion, a 3-time league MVP, in Nikola Jokic. That goes to 7 games. You win that series. You're supposed to. You're the higher seed. You have home court advantage. But you also playing against an NBA championship core. You win that series. You come into this series. All right. You win the first 2 games. Game 3, obliterated. Game 4, Minnesota played extremely well. They won every single category except for the turnovers. OKC wins that game. I mean, being great doesn't always mean you're winning by 20 every single night, which we'll talk about in a second. It means you can win any style. You can win any way you want to. Hustling defense, knocking down threes. Your star goes off for 40 or 50. You can win any way the game needs to be played on any given night. Now, this team is an elite defensive team. One of the best teams defensively we've ever seen. All right. The tenacity of the Pistons, versatility of the Miami Heat, and everybody's able to switch. Everybody's guarding their position, chest up, all of those things, right? Regular season, the highest net NBA history, meaning the points you give up versus the points you score, that is the largest gap ever in NBA history. You won 68 games and only lost 14. You're 7-1, soon to be 8-1 in the playoffs at home. You can't tell me those aren't signs of greatness, but let me break it down even further. Great teams have the guy like an SGA that can average 30, Go get 40 and 50 any given night and every single night. Then you have the next guy. In my opinion, and granted this is my opinion, you're going to get 18 to 20, but I can give you 5 and 5, or I can give you 8 and 4, or I can give you, 7 and something like that, right? You're around that 25 and 5 area. Then that third guy, guarantee you he can get 15 a night. And what else does he do? That third guy, right? In this terms, we're talking about Chet. He can give you 15, but he can also give you rim protection. He can also space the floor and knock down wide open threes when that's called upon, but he can also get down in the post, finishing around the rim. He can block shots and rebound. He can do all of those things. And then you have dirty work guys, Hartenstein, Caruso, Dort. They know their role. They understand they're not there to get touches. They're out there to play defense, hustle plays, and get extra possessions when necessary. Hartenstein and Chet protecting the rim. They necessarily don't really have a backup 5, but here's what happens. Chet moves over to the 5. Hartenstein goes to the bench. Now you're playing small with Jalen Williams at the 4. He can play that position. He can play a stretch 4 occasionally and knock down wide open threes. Don't let him get hot, because that 20 will turn to 25 and 30 quickly, as we've seen in the last game when SGA went off for 40 plus, Jalen went off for 34. You get 20 from Chet. That is the type of game that they can play on any given night, but more often than not, they hang their hat on their defense, their number 1 ranked defense, one of the best defenses we've ever seen. I just talked about how Caruso was guarding a 7-foot, 3-time MVP, and he was giving him problems. Now he's guarding Anthony Edwards and giving him problems. 2 of the best offensive weapons in the league. Anthony Edwards led the league in 3-point makes this season. Not Steph Curry. Not anybody like, no. Anthony Edwards, right? The guy that is supposed to be face of the league. Back-to-back series, he was guarding the 2 guys in the conversation to be face of the NBA. And he gave him that work. These are all parts of a great team. And you have situation where, guess what? We can space the floor. Jalen, Chet, Dort, Caruso can occasionally knock him down. Case and Wallace. Isaiah Joe hasn't seen the light of day, but he can knock down wide open threes. These are all makings of a great team. Now, the only thing that they don't have is the thing they're probably going to pick up this summer. They need a guy off the bench that can score. Like a give it to you any way you want it. Jamal Crawford, Lou Will, that type of player off of the bench. That'll be the next step. Now, you can make the argument, and I'm gonna say this, all right? He's talking about great teams. He's probably talking about the all-time great teams, the 80 Celtics, the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq going, was it 15-1, 16-1 in the playoffs en route to the NBA championship team. The only loss they had was to Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers that year in the NBA finals. He's probably talking about that type of great. I mean, they haven't even won a championship yet, but you can't deny, looking at the makeup of their roster, their capabilities as a team, being able to score, being able to defend, being able to, put the ball in one guy's hands and he can take you there. Having multiple offensive weapons, multiple guys, you can trust them to bring the ball up, initiate the offense, defend the rim, guard the post, post up, block shots, take charges, switch, cover a lot of space, cover a lot of ground, guard their position and not really need too much help, keeping guys in front of them, knock down wide open shots, wide open threes, timely shots, and basketball IQ. OKC might be one of the best teams we've seen in a long time. I mean, I went all the way back to 2019. I think they can beat all of those teams in the NBA Finals, but 2018, they can hang with the Warriors. That's just my opinion. They can hang with the Kevin Durant Warriors, with or without KD. They would give Cleveland some problems. That Cleveland Cavaliers team some problems. They would give that Miami Heat team some problems, even though they're kind of built the same way that Indiana was built, right? Kind of similar. They'd give that Boston. I mean, any team you want to name in the last 20 years, They're going to give them issues because of the makeup of the team. And it is not finesse. It is not shoot a bunch of threes. It is an older style of basketball where we can play a grinded out style, out tough you, out hustle you, out hurt you, and win because we got a guy that can go and get 40 in his sleep and get to his spot. I'm going to pump the brakes though. And I'm going to admit, I need them to get the chip though. I need them to get the chip. That's very important. You have to seal the deal with a championship, and then we can officially have these type of conversations where we say, is this one of the greatest single seasons that we've ever seen? Because you got the MVP, you got multiple, guys on the all defensive team. Jalen Williams made an all-star game. This is a great team, but without a championship, we can't say all-time great because a lot of people say it don't mean a thing without a ring. Get this video a like. Let me know in the comments. Is this Oklahoma City Thunder team an all-time great? That's one more for the good guys.